Okay, so here we are again in another video, and today we're gonna start with DXY again. Um, so after breaking this structure to the downside, we had previously high and rival liquidity in H1. It's true that here probably we had some liquidity. I'm not sure because for me here we have nothing really. The liquidity here, the big amount of liquidity is probably here, but well, it's okay. So we had this break, we took all this liquidity, and I expected a movement to the downside. It's true that really we don't really have relevant liquidity here, so yeah, the relevant liquidity is down here, so I don't know. Maybe we can continue higher or go lower and take these and then go higher. Not sure about that, but we will see. Okay, so yeah, let's continue with EU. Okay, so on EU, we started the day like this. I wasn't really interested on EU this morning. I woke up late. Today, yeah, I woke up late. As I was, I'm tired and I feel a little bit, a little bit not sick, but yeah, tired, just tired. Okay. So yeah, I woke up late. I saw this trading opportunity already when I started. When I came to the computer, and then it continued moving higher, all this way up. We took this rebel liquidity in H1. Why rebel liquidity in H1? Because it took this previous daily low. And then after that, it moved breakup started here, it moved to the downside, took this round with the M5, and then it exploded to the upside here. And well, I saw this sell. I wasn't looking in that moment, but I knew that we had like well, let me explain first this one, okay? I didn't trade this one. It was inside my timing here. I didn't trade this one because of this week, and we took this rebel liquidity M5 here. So if we wouldn't take this, probably I would have entered, but not really sure because we have this week. But after taking this and having the week, it was for sure that I wasn't going to enter. So yeah, so that was my explanation about why I didn't look for a trade here. And then we had a movement to the upside. It's true that it's far from my rival equity, but it looked good with this clean break to the upside. It created rival liquidity on 5. It took that with strength and then broke down with the strength. Probably I would have closed the trade, break even and 50% partial here, as we have these reaction zone. Probably we have some rival liquidity on M1 down here, but I prefer to put it in a reaction zone if it's this big. And yeah, it would have taken us out of this trade. Okay, so as you can see, here was the possible entry. Rival liquidity on M5, big movement to the upside, and then big candle, and then another second candle. So maybe the stop loss could have been like this, but yeah, I'm trying to protect all the zone, okay? And here, as you can see, we have rival liquidity on M1 that took this rival liquidity on M5. It took that and it moved to the upside, and then took us out, and then it continued moving. Okay, opa. Nope. Okay, let's see GU. Yeah, maybe one more, yes. So GU was pretty interesting as we had this rival liquidity in H1 to the upside, and with the strength, we really had nothing to the left. So it could continue to the downside. In that moment, I just waited for the breakup structure, but well, we had one here, but I don't know. I didn't look at. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't look at GU. I wasn't looking at GU in that moment, so I think I preferred EU and use the CHF and use the CAT. It is what it is, but yeah. So we had this break to the downside with the strength, and probably this would made me doubt about entering and seeing this week, but maybe I would have entered here. Okay, not sure about that because I wasn't there, and sometimes I decide depending on the price action. So yeah, let me see one moment. So we had the break to the downside, had this POI, okay, relevant liquidity on M1 here, which is much better, and then yeah, probably this would have been my trade. Yeah, probably something like this. If I would have entered, probably something like this, as the stop loss here is small. Yeah, it's true we have a low here, so maybe it would have been something like this or something like this. Okay. So yeah, maybe I would have had a TP here, but I wasn't looking at this chart. And then we had another break of structure to the upside, taking this relevant liquidity. And then when it broke again, it was far from that. And yeah, it didn't really take, like we took relevant liquidity on M5 here, and the relevant liquidity on M5 was here. Okay, so it took that, and then it continued moving to the downside. And here we had this relevant liquidity on H1 taken, not a strong break with wicks. So break of starter to the upside, and then boom, the huge move. And here, if you have a clean break and everything, you can look for a buy probably. Okay. Then, okay, USD/JPY, we had really nothing on USD/JPY. I didn't like the, well, had nothing here talking about price action. So our relevant liquidity probably is down here, and yeah, it didn't take that. Now it's reacting, so maybe we take that and then move to the upside, or yeah, I don't know, not sure about that right now. We will see, but it created a lot of sellers liquidity here. Okay, so at some point I think we will take that sooner than later. USD/CHF, one that I like too. We had this break to the downside here. Then we had previous daily high on relevant liquidity on H1 here. It broke to the upside with more or less strength. We had this week, but then it took that liquidity with this candle probably. So my idea was to look for sells. We had this movement here to the upside. I saw that, but I didn't want to trade without a clear mitigation here and everything. We didn't have relevant liquidity on M1, so I decided just to wait a little bit. I don't want to take early trades or whatever. Like, I don't want to risk something that I don't want to risk. So I felt like I shouldn't enter here. Okay. Then we had this movement to the downside, and after taking this relevant liquidity on M5, I expected the price to go higher, like taking this liquidity, but it never did that. So yeah, it's true that we have wicks here, so probably a continuation was correct, but not without taking relevant liquidity for me. Then we had here relevant liquidity on H1 and H1 BOS. Yeah, so we had this here. It's true that it was a little bit risky after this movement, and it looked like a reversal, but I don't care about that. I just follow my strategy. I like this break here, which it was a strong break, movement to the upside. It created relevant liquidity on 5 here. We have clean buyer candles and a strong sell candle here. For me, it was to induce sellers, and I look for a buy here. And today we had a stop loss, which is okay. As you can see, we had this break to the downside, clean break, strong break. Then we had these candles. It's true that this candle had a wick, so I don't really like to trade weak candles. Then we had some engulfing candles. I entered here. and yeah, it just went to stop loss. Maybe I don't have to trade weak candles, but well, candles with a wick, but yeah, in that moment I felt like it was okay. And in the end, it finally took this previous daily low, which is down here. It was down here, so it's all good. And to finish today's analysis, well, USD CAD, we had this here. We have I think we have a lot of liquidity here. Real liquidity on H1 and previous daily low, but whatever. And we had here this break on H1. So after this move to the upside, I'm not gonna lie, it was looking for sales, even seeing all these here, like for me were buyer. This was buyers because we had this H1 BOS, which it has two rival liquidity on M5. So I wanted to see this rival liquidity on M1 or this high being taken, but it just came here. It took probably some break evens and some liquidity from that, and then it moved to the downside, breaking structure on H1 and taking the rival liquidity on M5, and then it respected the rival liquidity on M5, as you can see. It took that, and it even took this rival liquidity on M5. That it was the one that broke the structure here to the downside. So you can see the high is 96. Here you can see it. Okay, the high is 96, and the high here is 96 too. So probably it took break evens too, and then it moved to the downside, but yeah, not enough. Okay, so maybe it counts as equal highs or something, but I think we can take this high probably. Okay, so well, this was my analysis from today. I hope you like it, and well, as always, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.